What if I told you that men are more likely to die in a car crash? Or if I told you that during cardiac emergencies, meaning heart attacks, when CPR is needed immediately, bystanders are less likely to provide help for men? Or what if I told you that across the world, including Israel, men make up the majority of public transportation users, but 60% here in Israel, but only 9% of men in Tel Aviv ride electric scooters compared to 24% of women. What if I told you that a French study found that girls use most of the space in playgrounds while boys stay in a smaller area? Well, all of this is true, but the other way around. The world is designed and built for men, and women are the ones who pay the price. As I said before, it's the other way around, meaning that women are more likely to die in a car crash. The reason for this gap relies in crash test dummies. Since the 70s, vehicle safety regulations have relied on these kinds of tests to create the safety reliance. But these crash test dummies are designed based on the male body measurement, while women are, in average, shorter, way less, have different muscle strengths, and even a different body structure, like having breasts or even a pregnant belly. Meaning that the safety regulations just don't suit women, ending up with the fact that they have a higher chance of dying in a car crash. But there's also good news. In 2022, a crash test dummy was introduced with dimensions that match the size and body structure of women. Some more good news is a new seatbelt accessory that adjusts for the pregnant women. Instead of the seatbelt being dangerous for both the mother and the fetus, the accessory balances the force in case of use and the distribution of the force on the belly and protects the mother and the fetus. So, as these examples show, the quality of life of our lives as human is improving due to inventions and technological development. But the benefits are not equally shared between men and women. In this short presentation, I don't want to look for blame, but rather understand how the world was created this way in order to gain the tools and knowledge to change it. So, what is FemTech? FemTech is short for female technology, referring to technological innovation that addresses the needs of women and all genders. This term was coined by Ida Tin, in this picture, co-founder of Clue app. This is an app that was designed to track menstrual cycle symptoms such as headache, appetite, desire, everything. But what are women's needs? After all, we already saw in these previous examples that um, women's needs are varied and are more are less obvious than what we maybe thought. I will present to you the femtech field in four parts. Femtech as a sector includes all products and services designed to address women's needs, which I will divide into three categories. Additionally, It represents a professional standards for designing and developing technological products and services. So let's start. The first category is women's health. Technology, the first category is women's health technology, specifically gynecology. Gynecology dates back long time and addresses the most obvious difference between men and women, the female reproductive system. So we previously saw Clue, but what else is there? First of all, Elera, also a period symptoms tracking app, but this time aimed at improving sports training and nutrition according to the menstrual cycle. Which weeks can be better for aerobics? Which weeks I should relax my dietary restrictions? Stuff aims to answer questions like that. Tempdrop is a wearable device for sleeping that measures the woman's temperature and helps women identify their fertility window. AIVF is a technological tool for IVF treatments. AI helps the medical teams make better decisions when evaluating embryos. This is a very sensitive and highly cost procedure that usually is dependent on the doctor's eye and decision making quality. Unlike the human factor, the AI can easily update with new research data and analyze large database so to provide a highly accurate answer with much less effort. It's like a, a perfect example for the use of AI. Pulse and More is a home ultrasound device that allows checking essential fetal health parameters. This is a part of the growing trend of remote healthcare. Some of it is Some of the process of this progress is attributed to COVID 19, which required all of us to embrace online solutions. But for pregnant women, this holds a great value since they often find themselves going frequently to medical checkups, which can impact their ability to do other things like work, have hobbies, or even take care of their children or relative that need their help. But women's health is not just gynecology. The situation is still not perfect, but we can see a shift in the approach. Women have unique medical needs beyond the reproductive system, and overall, there is a need for in-depth thinking that views women more holistically. Let's see a few examples. Raji is a chatbot that answers girls' questions on topics like sexual education, menstruation, hygiene, and more. It was developed by a Pakistani entrepreneur in an environment where these topics are taboo and these girls have no one to ask. As opposed to the people around them, the grown ups around them, the chatbot is available 24/7, long term, and without any judgment or restrictions. Thermoband is a smart bracelet that monitors body temperature and regulates the body temperature if needed. It is designed for women experiencing menopause. Levana is an AI tool designed to help adjust daily medication doses to the hormonal fluctuations in women's cycles. Since most medications on the market have not been tested on women, there is a very little information about the menstrual cycle's effect and the suitable doses for women that can even vary at different times during the cycle. This AI tool is aimed at learning the user's needs and to adjust to it. Hey Jane is a virtual clinic for abortion. It provides information, access to medications, and emotional support. Today, women around the world are denied knowledge and tools to manage an unwanted pregnancy. Through a very simple digital platform, many of these women can be reached, offering them minimal support that can be life changing. The third category of women's needs refers to needs that don't have a physiological source, not necessarily. One might argue that they also have a physiological source, but perhaps it's also cultural. Regardless the source, there's a significant difference between the experience of women and men, and this needs to be acknowledged. Let's see a few examples. Milkify turns breast milk into powder. It lasts longer and it's easy to save and ship if needed, and offers mothers the ability to travel either for work or pleasure or be away from the babies without hurting their business schedule, work, or pleasure. Melly is a platform for managing the care of elderly or sick relatives. This is, of course, not an exclusive task for women, but in practice, it is dramatically different, and the burden is often falls on women. Also, research has proven that it has a negative impact on their mental health. So, what do you think? Is this a FemTech app or is it a regular app? Another example, Bumble, the well known dating app where only women can send the first message after a match. Putting aside the fact that Bumble is changing its methodology these days, when launched, it had a small difference from the popular Tinder, with the small change in who can send the first message. This is a fascinating case that shows how deep thought about gendered experience can make all the difference. Camdom is an app developed by a condom company aimed at offering additional layer of protection, this time against revenge porn. Revenge porn is the unwanted exposure and distribution of intimate pics and videos. When meeting a partner, all parties operate the app on their phone, and if a camera or recording is detected, the app will notify everyone loudly. As I said the fourth and final part of the answer to the question, what is femtech, uh, is a new professional standard, meaning the requirement to suit products and services for the needs of all genders. Let's see a few examples for that as well. BAT is a protective equipment for women surgeons aimed to reduce the risk of breast cancer. It was invented by a doctor who noticed that orthopedic surgeons, women, have higher chance of being diagnosed with breast cancer. The reason for that is that the traditional protective cover for the medical staff was not adapted for the woman's body. It wasn't providing sufficient protection on the sides of the chest and allowing the radiation to get to the breasts. It is just a shield with a wider coverage. Very simple and very important. Hello Heart is an app monitored for heart patients. Women and men show different symptoms before a heart attack. Not a lot of people know, but women suffer from different symptoms and not the usual left side pain as well known. When the app detects a sign, it proactively contacts the patients. It takes users, it asks, users if they feel any of the symptoms that are displayed. The app will present symptoms in an order that will be relevant to the user biological sex. Again, sounds very basic, but in practice, it's not obvious. Abridge is an app that is based on voice recognition that records medical appointments. It is designed to help doctors focus on the medical treatment rather than the documentation. AI is a technology that relies on data, and there is a lack of data relevant to women. Voice recognition technology identifies men better than it identifies women. This means that female doctors either have to work harder to correct the mistakes of this app, or the app will just provide lower quality services. The same is relevant when talking about female patients. So, unless the industry improves the that the technology is based on, this example will be the outcome. This was a brief introduction to the FemTech field, showing how technological innovation can meet the needs of women and all genders. I hope it gave you a sense of the potential of technology to advance gender equality, and I also hope it inspired you to be part of this change. FemTech is everywhere, and it's up to us to create better technologies for everyone. Thank you very much.